Welcome to The Know, I'm Jenkins. If you were holding out hope that Microsoft is soaring up some of their biggest IPs for later this year, well, you might find yourself a little bit disappointed. After the cancellation of Scalebound, rumors, or rather, wishful thinking, abounded that maybe, just maybe, Microsoft might surprise us with Halo 6 later this year. But Phil Spencer has made those dreams nothing but dust and echoes. On Twitter, Spencer said this year won't be led by Halo or Gears, but rather new experiences with different IP, one of which will not be Scalebound. Whether he's talking about titles like Sea of Thieves or Crackdown 3 or something that they haven't exactly announced yet, it's hard to be sure, but judging from follow-up tweets, he was probably just talking about Sea of Thieves. So this probably means no Halo 6 in time for Scorpio's launch, but maybe we'll have something they haven't talked about yet, assuming that doesn't get canceled too, or hasn't already been canceled before we even knew about it. We've known that the founders of PLAYDEAD'S, the studio that created indie hits like Limbo and last year's critical darling Inside, had something of a falling out last summer. But new reports are out this week about how bad that split actually was. Co-founder Dino Patti left the studio last summer, but Danish financial publication Børsen reports that Patti and other co-founder Arnt Jenzen hadn't been on speaking terms since 2015. According to the report, the two co-founders had a beef over who actually held ownership of the games the studio created. As time wore on, the co-founders only communicated through lawyers, with each one doing their own maneuvers to try to take control of the studio. Patti was eventually forced out by the Danish Business Authority over the disagreement and paid $7 million, or roughly the equivalent of his half of the company's worth. It just goes to show that even when these studios produce great games, things aren't always great behind the scenes, and whew, no wonder Inside was dark. In the wake of criticisms over missing some basic things like, simple voice chat features for online play and a lack of launch titles, it looks like there will be even less to do on Switch than we first thought, because now it's confirmed we won't be getting multimedia options like Netflix on Nintendo's new system at launch. Business Insider's Ben Gilbert confirmed this in a new hands-on preview, writing, "The Switch isn't going to replace your iPad. It's a dedicated gaming machine to the point where it won't have many multimedia functions at launch," Nintendo's Kit Ellis told me. "Don't plan to watch Netflix on the Switch, for instance." Missing features like Netflix certainly wouldn't be a great look for Nintendo. Gamers practically expect that kind of stuff when they buy a new console nowadays. Plus, even Wii U supports Netflix streaming, but possibly it could have something to do with Nintendo's on-the-go online features. But it's not all bad news for Nintendo. While it seems like some features are delayed past the launch window, it sounds like Super Mario Odyssey will stay put right where it is in the holiday season. The game's producer, Yoshiaki Koizumi, told Nintendo Everything over the weekend that Odyssey is considerably finished. So their focus right now is putting it in people's hands as much as possible until release. So don't worry guys, Mario should not be pulling a Zelda on us in 2017. We hope. An Overwatch character could be headed for a pretty big nerf, and fans are not happy about it.
Nerf this!
The latest victim of the nerf bet is D.Va, who could be looking at an armor and bullet damage decrease, even though her health is being raised. Basically, it means that her survivability will drop and her guns will be less powerful, but will shoot more bullets.
Nerf this!
The nerf isn't public yet, but it has been unveiled in the game's latest public test realm, where the players can try out changes before they go live. Lots of players have urged Blizzard not to nerf D.Va, but Overwatch's director said they feel the character is doing too much right now, and there's not a definitive counter to her.
Nerf this!
So we'll see what ends up happening. Obviously no one likes nerfs, but then again, no one likes an unbalanced game with overpowered characters either, or you get an entire game of nothing but divas. We're all divas, really. Could Wonder Woman be having these same troubles as, well, basically every other DC movie that's come out to date? That may be the case, according to some alleged insider information. This new rumor comes from the Schmoes Know podcast, hey, good name guys, where co-host Sasha Pearl Raver says she's had contact with somebody close to the film who's seen it in its early stages. That contact told her, "I'm very disappointed in what I saw, and it seems like all the problems are the same problems. It's discombobulated, it doesn't have narrative flow, it's just very disjointed." While this is a very weak rumor and source, it should be noted that Pearl Raver claims it's the same source that gave her early impressions of Batman v Superman having issues as well. So we'll have to wait and see if this pans out, but given the string of bad reviews, quitting directors, other creative hiccups in the DC-verse, it wouldn't be too far-fetched. Just the same, I hope this one doesn't pan out. I was hoping Wonder Woman would be the chosen one. I really want it to be good. The trailer looks pretty cool. Facebook head Mark Zuckerberg had some strong words for game maker ZENIMAX as he took the stand yesterday in a lawsuit over the Oculus Rift. ZENIMAX, if you haven't heard or seen all the stories we've done on this channel, is suing Facebook for $2 billion, claiming that the VR headset was built with stolen technology from ZENIMAX. Zuckerberg, whose company bought Oculus Rift for $2 billion in 2014, said, "The idea that Oculus products are based on someone else's technology is just wrong." He also implied that ZENIMAX was a nobody, just looking for a payday. "Like most people in the court, I've never even heard of ZENIMAX before," he said. Ouch, come on man, you haven't played any Elder Scrolls? Don't lie to me. He also had a heated exchange with an attorney, which was captured on Twitter by a New York Times reporter. The lawyer asked Zuckerberg, "If you steal my bike and you paint it and put a bell on it, does that make it your bike?" Zuckerberg replied, "No." Wait, this sounds suspiciously like the "would you download a car" piracy question. Don't answer that, Mark. It's a trap. We all know we download a car. Can artificial intelligence predict when you're gonna die of a heart attack? That's what scientists in London say they've developed, a program that can predict when patients with a serious heart disorder will die, and they say they have 80% accuracy rate. The program assesses the outlook of 250 patients with pulmonary hypertension and uses blood tests and MRI scans to create a virtual 3D heart of each patient. Combined with health records of hundreds of other patients, the program can predict which patients will still be alive after a year about 80% of the time. So, not foolproof, but it's still reasonable as an indicator. Just hope the AI will give us the total number of cheeseburgers we're able to eat before we have to quit for good, right? That's where the real helpfulness will come in. All right, that's all the stories we have for you today. What do you think of all the news? Let us know in the comments. And for more news from every corner of the internet, make sure you like this video and subscribe to The Know.
So who wrote the Overwatch Diva story? Me. Okay, where was the nerf this joke?
The what?
Come on! Diva's all just literally
All about
screams nerf,
nerf this!
I forgot that was
It should be like, nerf this!
So
And
wait,
they
no,
said,
maybe don't.
like, nerf this! And then Blizzard said, okay.
It's like, wait.